Hi, my name is Nicholas, and welcome to Data Science 1. I'm really glad you've signed up for the course because over the next 4 weeks we are going to learn all sorts of cool tools that you can use in Python for data science. So whether you're just getting started with Python or maybe you're experienced in another programming language, this course is going to give you everything you need to push yourself towards data science and really start to build your data science skills. In fact, we're going to cover everything from just basic variables to doing visualization and then working with arrays. It's going to be fantastic. So before we start, and now that I've welcomed you, there are just a few things that I want to go over. Let's think of it as a pre-course checklist. The first thing is Zoom. All of our lectures are going to be conducted on Zoom, and so before we start the course, make sure that you go to zoom.us and download the application. I'll also send out calendar invites for all of our class dates, and that way you can just click right there and go directly to the link that'll take you to the meeting. But download the application and maybe just see if you can get comfortable with it, especially the chat function and those sorts of things. The second thing is YouTube. Now, after our classes, I'm going to post them to YouTube, the recordings of the course lectures, usually within 24 hours. That way, if you miss a course, it won't be a problem. If you're watching this video, if you're listening to me talk, well, congratulations, you have access to those YouTube videos. So don't worry about it. Everything is good. The other thing that I want to mention is Google Drive. We'll be doing some collaboration in real time during the courses, maybe some live coding together. And in order to do that, you need to have access to our Google Drive folder. And I've sent you a link in the email outlining the technical specifications of the course. So make sure you can access Google Drive, and if you have any problems, let me know. And then finally, Jupyter Hub. Now I'm going to do a little demo of Jupyter Hub in a second, but for now, just know that for the duration of this course, you're going to have a virtual machine, and that's where you can do all of your coding during course, finish your assignments, practice your coding skills, all that good stuff. And I'll either call it Jupyter or Jupyter Hub, or maybe I'll just call it your box. So that's what we'll be using, and in the email I sent you, the technical email, you're going to have a username and password, and that's what you'll use to access the Jupyter Hub. So again, if you have problems logging in, let me know. Alright, well again, welcome to the course, and let's take a look at Jupyter Hub. In order to log on to your Jupyter Hub, the first thing you need to do is go to this address. Let me paste that into the address bar. I'll hit enter. Next, you'll sign in using the username and password that I sent to you in that email. Now, my login process will look a little bit different because I'm an instructor, but it's basically the same thing. Now, if this is the first time you're starting your server, it might take several minutes to start up, so just be patient. Once your server is started up, you'll see sort of a file navigation tree. And there are two folders in there. One is Data Course and one is Lost and Found. Don't worry about Lost and Found, you can just forget that. Let's focus on Data Course. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger here so you can see the text. Beautiful. And then I'll click on Data Course. Once you're inside Data Course, you'll see either notebooks or folders. Again, this might look a little bit different for your course than it does right here. But I'm just going to click on one of those folders, let's say ML Online. And once I'm into the sort of meat of the curriculum, you'll see that there are a bunch of files that have the ending IPYNB, or Interactive Python Notebook. Let's open up one of them and just take a look. Now the wonderful thing about a Python notebook is that it lets you combine code and writing and do it in sort of a non-linear way. So it's a great learning tool. The important thing to keep in mind is that your Python notebook is going to be a combination of Python code and then regular text. If you want to run a cell, you have two options. You can either click on the Run button, and you'll notice where it said in and then there was a blank space. Now it says in 1, as in the first input put into the kernel. And then the second option you have is you can just hit Shift Enter. Now if I wanted to create a new cell, I would use this plus button here. And I could type in my own Python code. For example, I could do simple math equations. And then I'll run it by hitting Shift-Enter. And you'll see I get output in this case, and I now know, finally, that 1 plus 1 equals 2. I'm going to scroll down. If instead of writing computer code, what I wanted to write was just notes or text, again, I have a couple options. The first thing I'll do is I'll create a new cell, and I'll hit the plus button. And you'll see there's a drop-down menu below the sort of menu ribbon. Right now it currently says Code, but what I'm going to do is select Markdown. We don't need to go into all the details here, but once Markdown is selected, I can now write in a cell, and then when I execute that cell by hitting Shift-Enter, we can see it's rendered like normal HTML text. And then the second option for taking notes is, if I'm inside a code cell, I can start a line with the hashtag symbol, and then write some notes here. And what that hashtag does is it tells the Python interpreter to not consider that line, just to skip over it. So I can put anything I want as long as I put a hash sign before it. Once I've done all my coding and I want to close this notebook, I have a few options. The first thing is I could just close this tab and the notebook would keep running. That kernel would still be activated. If, however, I want to shut down the notebook, there are two ways to do that. I can go first to File, and then from File to Close and Halt. I actually won't do that. What I'll do is I'll just close the tab. And back in the File Navigator, if I go to the Running tab, it'll give me a list of all the notebooks that are currently running, and if I want to shut one of them down, I click the Shutdown button. And that's about it for Jupyter itself, just a few other features that I want to point out. I'm going to go to the upper right corner and click on Control Panel. And this will take me back to the landing page that I had when I originally started my server. Now there are a few things I want to draw your attention to. The first is along the top you can see it says Home, but next to that it says Shared Folder. And if I click on Shared Folder, I see that I have access to the shared Google Drive folder that we'll use for our interactive activities. And I can then click on a given file and it will open. The other thing I can do is that when I'm working on the mini projects for this course, I can always check my grades by clicking on the Grades tab. And here you won't see anything because I haven't started my homework yet. But as you progress through the course, this is a good place to keep track of everything. And if for some reason I want to log out, I just click on the Logout button in the upper right corner. And that's it for Jupyter Notebooks. I hope this was a good introduction, and of course we'll go over everything again on the first day of class. So get ready for the first day of class. I'm looking forward to it.